Greetings, everybody, and welcome to G4G on YouTube. Today, we're taking a look at Marvel Heroes Server 0.4 that was released just a day or two ago. I actually planned to do a Marvel Rivals video, but somebody had left a comment on one of the Marvel Avengers Alliance Redux videos that I did and said, hey, 0.4 is out. I had asked, well, is this like a private one? Because some of the servers that people play on as multiplayer had increased versions from what the public had. They hadn't gotten back to me, but I went and checked myself on Discord and saw that, yep, 0.4 is out. Here it is. There it is right there. And here's a trailer. So let's go ahead and watch the trailer that goes with 0.4.
Heads up, people. This is Nick Fury, Director of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Time to call in the cavalry.
Smart move, calling on me.
Thor and Hawkeye are doing what they can down there. We need to get to the restaurant up ahead. It should offer you advantage to get the edge on Ultron.
Would you like your items pre-ripped, sir?
All right, so there we go. That is the trailer for 0.4, and I can tell you those features that they are talking about do work. I have confirmed affixes, but I haven't run into a treasure chest yet. Dynamic events are working. Things are looking pretty good. I had a whole video recorded. It was about 30 minutes at the end of it, but it was like, I went back and watched it, and it was just frozen on the game. You could hear me talking, and I had tabbed out and done other things and gone back in, but I was just sitting there looking at Captain America from the intro mission, which now is not going to be in this video. So once you download this particular file, I'll give you just a little bit of a brief installation thing over here, but if you want to know how to do the meat of this, you're going to need to go back to my 0.2 video, the one that corresponds with this version, to find out how to get the Marvel Heroes files so that you can play it. If you ever played it on Steam, you're good to go. Just re-download it. But if you never played it on Steam, you did it on the Gazillion launcher like I did, you have to go to the Internet Archive and download the files. So when you get the 0.4 version and open it up, you'll see these folders, these files. They go in your Marvel Heroes server folder. And then you just drag them, drag to highlight if you're using 7-zip, and then you just dump them there like that. If it says, hey, I have a bunch of these files already existing with this name, what do you want to do? You just say overwrite. Some changes that I want to point out to you guys is that the new setup is called setup.exe. The old one is called setup.sorcerersupreme.exe. When you run setup.exe for the first time, it asks you where are your Marvel Heroes files. You point it to where you have them stored, whether it's a Steam folder if you get it from Steam or a different folder for the Internet Archive version like I did. You can probably get rid of setup.sorcerersupreme.exe or move it to a safe space. They do the same thing. Do you need to hit setup.exe if you had a working 2.0 or 0.2 or 0.3? I don't know, but I did. So yeah, I did the setup.exe. I don't know if you have to do it. You'll notice now there's extra files over here. You'll notice there's some plural ones and some singular ones. The singular ones end in today's date, which is the date that I extracted these. So whenever you extract them, be it on the 6th, the 7th, the 10th, December 25th, whatever, That's how you know what the new ones are. The old ones are the ones with the plurals, start servers and stop servers. I don't know why they changed the naming convention. Maybe they have it on purpose so that you don't use these old ones because maybe they don't work. But the first thing you do after running the setup.exe is that you run start server. Let it get all the way down to the bottom of its command prompt thing that it does, which is usually here when it says lifetime. Once you have started the server, that's when you can start the client. If you do start client, you will have had to have made sure that you established an account with your local version of Marvel Heroes first. Again, go to the 0.2 video for that. You're going to need to know the fake email address you put in there and password. If you just do auto login, it will never ask you for an email address and password, but the progress will not be shared between these two versions. Just be aware of that. So if you get like magic up to level 7 in here, but then you come over and do this the next time, your progress is going to be reset. So that's what it looks like to actually install the files. What I'm going to do is end the video just briefly to make sure it's not doing anything weird, and then restart it once I'm in the game. All right. We are now actually in the game. So, I've recorded several in-game videos throughout the night, and basically what was happening is that you could see my arrow moving, but when I would look at the video, it would just be a frozen screen, despite the fact that you could hear me, you could see the arrow going and everything. It seemed to have been a problem with the potentially processes that I was running, whether it was Steam or TeamViewer or the fact that I had to update the NVIDIA app and the drivers. I don't know which one of those ones fixed it, but we are good. We are actually in the game now, and this recording should go pretty good. So, when you first get into the game after upgrading to version 0.4, you go through a little bit of an intro where you're on Cap and Hulk and like Black Widow, and it teaches you how to do movement and use your med packs and everything like that. And it basically follows a lot of what you see in that trailer. Now, I was at first a little concerned because I could not switch heroes at that point. You're forced into what's going on in the tutorial. So I was like, oh no, I think maybe, I wonder if I lost my progress and everything. But no, when you get done with it, you will be back to whatever you did in 2.3. So this is my magic that was level 7 at the start of the day, and you can now see she is level 11. We are actually doing an event in here, and as soon as everybody is dead, I can show you a little bit of the features that we've got here in version 0.4. Now, one of the things that is unfortunate, but I didn't think it was going to last forever, is the fact that the infinite traversals are now gone. Also, one of the things I've noticed is that I don't actually use my resource. So this, I'm holding down F, which is this ability right here, the Soul Cleaving. It does extra damage to anybody affected by the Soul Brand, but as you can see, my spirit doesn't seem to be going anywhere. And there's loot, have some credits, we have some named loot and everything over there. If I go to my inventory, you will now be able to see that the gear has stats. I bought an experience boost in the store. Right-clicking it doesn't seem to do anything, but let's do some comparison. So I have a Green Goblin medal equipped, And here is an electro metal. My attack speed goes up, chance to deal extra energy damage when I hit, and energy damage rating goes up. I don't know that I have energy damage. The stats were something that I was always kind of piss poor on, like tenacity and things like that. Obviously, damage reduction, health, that all makes sense. Here we go. Let's compare some gloves over here. 6. Damage rating is up. Deflect rating, 3% chance when you hit with a melee power to prevent all health regeneration on your target, or 6% chance when you hit to heal you and nearby allies. Playing solo right now, I like the proc on the current gloves, but this has got some more overall damage, so go ahead and equip that. Alright, so let's move the metals together a little bit. Attack speed, chance to deal extra energy damage, or what I have with the crit rating up and the poison cloud. There's an older electro metal over here, one that I had gotten before, and a living laser metal. As you can see, yeah, stats, we have events that are happening. In the trailer, you see that going up to a chest, opens it up, and yeah, let me tell you, that was definitely one of the things that was getting me in version 0.3, because there was a chest
I can do this.
that you have very easy access to here in downtown, and walking up to it, not being able to do anything with it, was always kind of sad. I was like, man, we're so close, but we're still not there. We're there now. If you're one of the people that has sort of like been holding off on playing this game because you're like, it's not quite there yet. I feel like I would be not spending my time wisely if I was playing it now, and it hurts to see Luke drop and have it like not do anything, because that's not what I remember. Like everything. You've got it now. This is exactly where you would want it to be. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say everything works 100%. It doesn't. Magic has a ability that summons demons, and that ability does not seem to work. Also, the fact that I can use spenders like this soul cleave, and I never actually lose my resource, which in this case is spirit, and it is the same for other characters. Hulk, you're doing Hulk in the intro, and Hulk was not spending his rage or his anger or anything like that. So spenders, they just don't seem to be working. Also, things that increase your health do work. The things that increase your resource, unfortunately, don't. I don't know where notes like that would be, so I don't know where I can go to check what exactly doesn't work. I'm on the Discord. I know there are some notes on the GitHub and everything like that, but they seem to be sort of bigger notes, not like the notes of the minutia of like, oh, magic can do this, this, and this, but can't do that. These kinds of things work, but this kind of thing. I think I have to beat all these guys over here, which is why. Yeah, okay, now we should be able to get by. I'm gonna hit P real quick, which is my powers, because I just picked something up. Call forth a demon. Oh, so that's probably not going to work. Got a duplicate over there, so let's see what happens. I think this is supposed to summon a big demon. Yeah. Um, that demon summon and the lesser demon summon, which were definitely part of the fun back in the day. See Magic running around with her little entourage and everything, and managing, your quantity and everything like that. It's not there, unfortunately. But I mean, at least with her, she is largely playable. Even if I do have infinite resources, the infinite traversals, as I said, are gone. You have your charges, and then they come back up. But it is not like how it is when I sometimes stream this when I'm doing my Marvel Avengers Alliance Redux streaming, and I'll go and dip in the game, and I'll just be stepping disc all over the place. Venom Metal, when you drop below 50% health, gain plus 22 damage rating. I would say that one is worth keeping for circumstances. I don't know that I want to switch to it. And as soon as we get out of this, I'm going to go to a hub and show you some more features. So in case you don't remember, B is Body Slide, which is like Town Portal in Diablo or your Hearthstone World of Warcraft. And now that we are here in a hub, let's check out some other features. So if I go up to this weapon vendor, I can either sell items just by simply right-clicking, and you'll notice I get credit. Or if I hold down Alt, you'll see that I get that little alchemy potion thing. What that does is it's a donation, and it ranks me up with the vendor. Of course, higher items will go ahead and rank you up faster. You get more of the bar. I don't really remember what... was that really so much better than my old sword? Deflector defense. Huh. Okay, we've got credits. Let's buy one of these. Considering my sword is apparently quite trash. Yeah, I kind of forget exactly what ranking up with these guys does when you donate. I don't remember if it makes things cheaper or if they get more inventory and everything. So it is, it's going to be up to you what you want to do in terms of your balance of credits. Do you want to rank up with somebody? Or do you want to go ahead and donate to them for the, donate for the rank up, or if you want to sell for the credits? I kind of forget the pattern that I used to do. I think I would basically have a threshold where if it cost a certain amount, I would go ahead and sell it, and if it didn't, then I would go ahead and use it for rep. But then again, I also don't remember who I was repping up with. Mystical Energies, 5% experience. You take 3.7 less damage from enemy area powers. Regenerate your health and spirit when using medkit. Wow. Yeah, I would like to equip that. Yeah, I want the cheesy boost. So there is, you can see my team up is working. You can see that she has some equipment. This over here is a downgrade. The existing things, of course, are true, where if you want to check out a uniform, be on that hero before you go ahead and buy the uniform. Now, that whether or not that is actually changed in this version, I'm not exactly too sure. Let's see. Who's got a good amount of skins? Okay, we'll go to Black Panther. Now, if previous versions, I would not be able to buy a Black Panther uniform unless I was on Black Panther. So, let's try this Vibranium one. Okay, so it looks like they've gone ahead and gotten that fixed. So there it is in my inventory. So if I was to switch to Black Panther by going to the roster. He'll come in as a default, which as you can see is a level 1. Pretty basic. And then I go ahead and equip the uniform, and there he goes. There is the vibranium armor. So yeah, it looks like you do not have to go ahead and switch to who you want to buy the uniforms for anymore. You could just stay on your character and buy the uniforms. Now, back in the day, I definitely played... I'm not too sure if I ever got around to Carnage. He came later, so I might not have. I definitely did Cyclops, because when Cyclops gets to 60, you activate a bonus where other people get more experience. So one of the first people you should level is always Cyclops, and I think he was the only one in the game that did that. I sort of always kind of thought that sucked. I wish there were more characters that you could go ahead and have them add to your experience, but as far as I remember, Cyclops was the only one. I did do some Doctor Doom. I used to love Emma Frost because she had the mind control, so you can run around with enemies that she is mind controlled, and some of them would always be funny, like the big Hydra mechs or the King Dinos and everything. I would love to get around to Green Goblin, because I don't remember him actually existing as playable in the game back in the day. He could potentially be a lot of fun. I did do Jean Grey. I did do Kitty Pryde. Definitely did Magic. Love Magic. I think I did Magneto. I did do Moon Knight. I did do Psylocke, Rogue. And the interesting thing about Rogue is she used to have that ability to touch somebody and absorb one of their powers and then slot it, and she got to use it. It did change before the game ended, and I think the last time I tried Rogue, her little power sucky thing wasn't working. Think I did Star-Lord, I did Taskmaster, I did Ultron, and that was about it. Now that this game is really in a solidly playable state, I do think I will get around to Green Goblin. I'm going to stick to... Hold R to activate it. Oh. Huh. Okay. That's interesting. Huh. That's right. They did kind of give you that.
Hello there.
Flight mechanic-y thing. I sort of vaguely do
I've come
remember
hero
that.
with you, but these motions won't file themselves.
I mean, it has been since 2016 that, or actually 2017 is when it went under, but I think I kind of lost touch with it in late 2016, if I remember correctly. So, I mean, it's been a long time since I played this game, and there are definitely things that I have forgotten on it. I think I remember Black Widow maybe got on a motorcycle, or maybe Captain. One of the traversals, I think, was a motorcycle. Yeah, Magic, of course, is the stepping disc, but it's not infinite anymore, which, you know, kind of thought we would see that. One thing I would love for them to add to the game at some point is the ability to walk while holding something. Like, when Hulk picks up a car, the only thing you could do is set it down gently, which is hysterical. If you right-click, he's just like, oh, let me go ahead and place this back down on the ground. Or the left click is just a throw from where you picked it up. I think it would be great if we ever had the ability to walk while holding something like that, because then it means kicking around that. Then it means picking stuff up can be a little bit more tactical, rather than having to throw it from where you are, and if enemies have cleared out on the screen, yeah, then you're just stuck holding a car and you have nothing to throw it against. Let's see. I think here is an event. So this is one of the things that was mentioned in the trailer, that world events are now working. I did, and it's not on save video at the moment, but earlier I did the event where the building is on fire and you have to waves in time, and that event seemed to go pretty good. But these poor cops are dumb as shit. They're just, the enemy has walked behind them and they're like, okay, we're just gonna keep shooting forward. Some of the guys, like some of the cops turn around, but the militia guys, shield guys, just kind of stay there.
My leg!
I like the ones that say "mommy" when they die, and it's funny, the ones that say "mommy" or "mum," they remind me a lot of the original Castle Wolfenstein enemies when they die, because some of them will say "my Lyman," which, if I remember correctly, is my life. Sort of like, okay, I'm dead, my life is over. And the ones that say "mum" really remind me that the tone, cadence sounds almost identical. Interesting piece of trivia, in case you've never known this. There was a Super Nintendo version of Castle Wolfenstein. I mean, I'm talking about the original Castle Wolfenstein when it was done by Affixes. But yeah, if you go back to the looking at something at a different screen over here. If you go back to the Super Nintendo version, you will notice many, many differences. So the Dobermans are replaced by rats to defend against animal cruelty, and what the enemies say are in English instead of German. So you'll hear like halt when they see you and aggro to you and everything like that. The changes are interesting, to say the least, and they even add some weapons. My roommate in college walked into a room and the first available rocket launcher was there, and just as he stepped on it, a scripted event happened behind him where two of the blue SS spawned, and they went halt, and he freaked out. He was so scared he turned around and shot them point blank with a rocket launcher, which in other games would have had some splash damage, maybe even killed himself. But yeah, he apologized. He was so scared and shot them point blank with a rocket launcher. He went, "Oh, I'm sorry, you scared me." And I swear to God, I think I about fell off my chair, laughing that he's apologizing to Nazis for shooting them point blank with a rocket launcher. But yeah, as you can see over here, this is where it's at. Yes, I'm only playing Magic over here. Other characters may work better, may have more bugs or more abilities that don't work. I don't exactly know how that's working quite yet. I mean, I should go on Rogue and see if her power sucking things are working and whatnot. But I mean, Magic was such a favorite of mine back in the day that I'm definitely going to stick with her for a little bit. And now that I saw that I got another summon demon power and that one doesn't work, it did really remind me of what it was like to play Magic back in the day. And I am a little bit sad that I can't summon my demons over here. And I think Ultron had bots, like he had melee bots and flying bots, and you had a max that you could summon, so you sort of had to figure out if you wanted to lean heavy into the melee ones, lean heavy into the aerial ones, balance it out like 3 and 3 or whatever you count. Doom, I don't remember if Doom had Doom bots or not. I just remember Magic had the demons and Ultron had the different kinds of Ultron bots. But yeah, I definitely miss my summons now that I think about it, and I got that last demon power over there, or summon demon power, I should say.
Yeah, time to shake this place down. You can still run away.
I think that's Steve Blum. So, you know, back in the day, I mean, Steve Blum was absolutely everywhere. He voiced so many things. He voiced stuff in the world. He often was voicing Wolverine in a bunch of different areas. Hello, team up. A little late on that there. Yeah, I don't have Firestar with me. Interesting. I don't recall that a team up
I am
knocked out
darkness and hurt given form.
fight like that. Yeah, man, kill Shocker, get out of the subway, go to the nightclub. That's... How many times did we do that back in the day when we were leveling characters? That definitely feels like an old, comfortable glove to know this part of the story that I'm going through. Yeah, the Blood Rose, Kingpin.
It's a front. It's connected to a warehouse supposedly filled with all his ill-gotten goodies.
Well, sure. He is the Kingpin. I assume everything is a front. For a fast food franchise. You know, because he's fat.
I've got your back. Let's go.
When you first start up version 0.4... hold on, I'll let this play out. Such a poser. Yeah, so as I was saying, when you first start 4, you go through a scene where Watu the Watcher is dealing with Doom, and they have that fight over the Tesseract and everything. So yeah, it totally brings back a lot of nostalgia and everything, and I can't wait until I get into the zone where the Taskmaster VCR tapes are. If you want to spoil it, go to YouTube, type in like Marvel Heroes Taskmaster tapes or Taskmaster videos. If you don't want to spoil it, then just play the game till you get up to that point. But I gotta say, version 4 or 0.4 is definitely where it's at. If you really were on the fence or waiting until you could get a good game, had progression, and then after the progression, the abilities were working properly, and then after that, you were getting loot with stats just like you remember, and it actually felt good, to go through and get drops, and the medals had different things, and what was the best medal for you and everything. Yeah, this is where it's at. If you've been hanging out and you've been waiting for a little bit, and you wanted something more out of Marvel Heroes before you got back into it again, this is it. I would be very, very surprised if you looked at what version 0.4 was capable of and were like, nah, it's still not there yet. Because other than some abilities not working, I think this is really where it's at, and I think you're going to get enjoyment out of this. Now, if you want to play with other people. Of course, when you spin up the server locally on your own network, other Marvel Heroes clients can join in on it. And if you go to their Discord, they will show you how to get onto servers where other players are hanging out, sort of bring back the MMO part of this, MMORPG or MMOARPG really. But yeah, there are ways of playing with other people beyond sort of like having a LAN party or just doing it solo. And I had gone on patrol with Magic when she was like 7 or 8. And I encountered a boss and he absolutely murdered me. I was like, yeah, I think I really feel like I want people around me for this one, but I'm sure she's eventually going to catch up. So here's version 0.4. As I said in the beginning of the video, if you have never installed any Marvel Heroes, go to my first video on the return of Marvel Heroes, and you'll find out how to do it. And then in the beginning of the video, I showed you just how to upgrade your 0.2 or your 0.3 to 0.4. Hope you enjoyed the weekend, or hope you enjoyed the video, and have yourself a